Okay, here we go. Time to learn about intro and conclusion paragraphs, what they are, and what they're supposed to do. The introduction should be the first paragraph in your essay, and the conclusion should be the last paragraph of your essay. The introduction should start by connecting to real-life experience so that anyone who happens to pick up your essay could be interested in what you have to say. After grabbing your reader's attention, your introduction paragraph should transition into your thoughts on the text. The text is usually a book, but it could also be a story, poem, play, or a film. The text is whatever work you'll be quoting in your essay. Your conclusion should leave your reader with something to think about in real life, so when they're done reading your essay, they will understand that they have learned some kind of a life lesson. To get an understanding of why introductions and conclusions really matter, it's important to understand the differences and relationships between a real life and the text. We live in the real world in our day-to-day lives, and this is what most of us care about most of the time. Your own experiences, relationships, and feelings tend to take up most of your thoughts. The text, on the other hand, exists in its own world. When you're writing about a novel, you're writing about a fictional world that never really existed in the real world, so it's up to you to convince your reader that the text is worth thinking about. Your introduction paragraph will bridge the gap between real life and the text. The paragraph should begin with something that matters in real life, and it should end with something that matters to the text. Your conclusion paragraph connects from the text back to real life, so your reader will understand why the ideas in your essay are important. There are 3 parts to an introduction: the hook, the transition, and the thesis. Your hook is something that will grab your reader's attention. It should be the first sentence of your essay, and it should be something that will matter to the average person. In other words, this sentence should be about real life. Remember that your hook should also relate to the ideas of your essay, but you shouldn't mention the text in this point. You want to get your reader hooked on the idea of your essay. The transition follows right after the hook, and it explains the hook a little bit more, and it introduces the text. Your transition should be more than one sentence. The first sentence of your transition should explain your thoughts in the hook more thoroughly, and the second sentence should explain briefly how these ideas relate to the text and the rest of your essay. Your thesis should summarize the arguments in your topic sentences. Bringing up the same idea in your thesis and topic may feel repetitive, but this one sentence is the most important sentence in your entire essay. Your readers should be able to read this one sentence and understand everything your essay is about. The conclusion paragraph is a bit like a bizarro introduction. Everything is backwards. There are 2 important parts to a conclusion paragraph: the conclusion statement and the outro. The conclusion statement should explain how the arguments in your thesis statement relate back to real life. The ideas in your thesis should be relevant to the text, but they should be important to real life as well. And your conclusion statement should be like your thesis if you took away any mention of the text. Your conclusion sentence should sound something like a life lesson. The outro should revisit the hook and explain how your reader might apply your ideas to real life. Remember that your hook should clearly relate to real life, but it should also have a connection to your ideas on the text. Your outro should explain the relevance of your hook to the real-life lessons in your conclusion statement and how your reader might think about the ideas in your hook differently after reading your essay. To put it all together, your introduction should be the first paragraph of your essay, and it should get your reader interested in your topic and summarize the arguments in your essay. Your conclusion should be the last sentence in your last paragraph of your essay, and it should connect your arguments back to real life. Check out the examples in the documents linked below to see how a finished version might look, and feel free to email me with any questions you might have.